Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front row access you won't want to miss.
And Alex Palou sneaks around Marcus Ericsson.
In Indiana, speed is more than sport. It's an engine for the economy. It's where tradition meets innovation.
Drivers, start your engine!
At 230 miles per hour. But the real story goes beyond the checkered flag, the teams, the technology, the thousands of high-tech jobs, and a supply chain that stretches from Main Street to the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that helps drive the Hoosier economy. Welcome to Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, LiUNA, and the Indiana Association of Realtors.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you again this week from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we wrap up our month-long Business at the Brickyard series. And what a month of May it has been at the Brickyard. As usual, a little bit of everything here. Weather washing out day one of qualifying, leading to some added drama on Sunday with Alex Palou ultimately taking the pole position.
It's a 231.9 to the top on a 232.2.
But this weekend is what it's all about. From the roar of the engines to the sea of fans filling the grandstands here.
Aim, ready, aim,
to the time-honored traditions that stir emotion. There is nothing quite like race weekend in Indianapolis. The 110th running of the Indy 500 will be a global sporting spectacle.
For the land of the free.
A cherished Hoosier tradition that also serves as a powerful economic engine. This year, the momentum around the 500 continues on multiple levels. Another grandstand sellout. The local television blackout has been lifted, adding to excitement and a wave of momentum around the race, and a growing recognition that this is about a lot more than the race. It is a global showcase for Indianapolis and Indiana.
drivers, start your engines!
And no one understands that impact more than Doug Boles, the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and also IndyCar as well. Doug, it's here, race weekend. It's been quite a month.
It has been a good month, other than the rain on Saturday, but getting everything in on Sunday was really good. Felt like great crowds. We had a new merch store, so a lot of good things happening here.
Talk about that Sunday qualifying added, being washed out on Saturday, added a little drama to Sunday. It seemed to be a lot of fired up fans here.
Yeah, it's our biggest Sunday crowd we've had, at least in recent memory, so that was really exciting. Fans seemed to really enjoy it. I know for the teams, it was a little bit of a challenge. You got one shot, you had to guess a little bit on the weather, so that was interesting, but ultimately it turned out to be a pretty good day.
You've talked a lot about the relationship with Fox Sports, and I know watching the qualifying, some of the technology that they were using with the driver's iCam and the ghost car, some pretty cool technology.
Yeah, they continue to do that and invest in that. The driver's eye, I think, is a spectacular view. It's interesting. I hear from teams, they're looking at the steering wheel, the drivers through the driver's eye, seeing if they can learn a competitive advantage. The ghost car was a lot of fun to see where those folks are running against others in qualifying. But those are the kind of things that Fox is helping us do to make that experience for our consumer and the folks who watch on TV understand it better.
So that television piece doesn't seem to be detracting from ticket sales. You're sold out in the grandstands again, network blackout locally has been lifted. Do you think that's going to become a regular occurrence?
It's really interesting, for a long period of time, because we have to get 235,000 seats.
Yeah.
We've been really reluctant to let that go. But there's been 50% of the folks inside that said, hey, it benefits us. And then 50% are like, let's see where we are. So this is, I think, our fourth time in 6 years, maybe our fifth time in 7 years that we've actually had the local delay lifted. So we'll see where it goes.
What's driving this? There's clearly momentum around the Indianapolis 500, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What's driving it? Is it one thing or a multitude?
No, there's a whole bunch of things, but it really starts with the fans, especially this race. The fans adopt it so much, and they come back and they bring different people, and it's a tradition for them. So it's the fans that start here, and then I think it's a bunch of other elements that really help us on our IndyCar Series. The Fox piece really obviously helps, going to places like Arlington, really trying to create events, but it really does start with the fans.
I know growing that television audience, television revenue are important aspects of what you're trying to do here and throughout the series. As you look at efforts demographically to get a younger crowd in, got a lot of entertainment in and around the Speedway. Is it working?
Ladies and gentlemen!
I think it's working, and for a traditionalist like me, some of the things are, you think, why are they doing that? Why do you have a Weenie 500? The way that attracts young folks. We had a monster truck set a world record for a monster truck at 103 or 104 miles an hour here the other day. Monster truck connects to youth and just a number of young kids here. So we have to get a little creative and maybe do some things that aren't exactly what the traditionalist might think is the right way to do that, and I think that helps grow the sport.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Boles, as always, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
They call him the Iceman, but today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, he is red hot, and he is the winner of the 92nd Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Well, a big honor this week for a legendary IndyCar driver with 6 series titles and an Indianapolis 500 win under his belt.
It's an amazing feeling, and you can see why people that have won it once try so hard to win it again.
2008 Indy 500 champ Scott Dixon inducted into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame this week. Dixon is second only to A.J. Foyt in all-time IndyCar wins. Giampaolo Dallara, also part of the IMS Hall of Fame Museum class of 2026.
I put the medal down, the pedal, whatever they want to call it, and I never lifted, and I didn't. I mean, it's a true fact that I run around there wide open.
And Al Unser Sr., one of only 4 members of the 4-time Indy Winners Club, now recognized just outside of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a newly enhanced $2.1 million roundabout at 16th and Main Streets, named after Big Al this week by Speedway officials. Well, coming up next, females flexing their muscle in the world of professional racing. We catch up with the only female team president in IndyCar. Southwest Indiana is essential to elevating Indiana's future. Explore how IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the state of Indiana are bringing a bold vision for regional growth at Innovate Southwest Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Join Governor Mike Braun and business and community leaders in Evansville for a conversation on growth, workforce development, and innovation. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
The internet changed how we work. AI is changing what work gets done. A bank cut loan processing from days to hours. A student built an AI scheduler, improving on-time delivery from under 70% to over 90%. Most teams know AI matters, but aren't sure where to start. InAI is Indiana's statewide AI adoption effort, built with industry, academia, and community partners, helping you move from understanding to action. Visit inaiready.com.
It's down to 2 for the Chicago Bears, and Northwest Indiana still in the mix. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell told team owners this week in Orlando there are 2, quote, viable sites for a new Bears stadium, one in Arlington Heights, Illinois, the other in Hammond. The state of Indiana offering up to $1 billion in incentives to lure the bears across the border. Illinois lawmakers have until May 31st to pass a deal to keep the bears in Illinois. Now back to our business at the Brickyard coverage at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
33 cars, as always. In one car, Indianapolis history, a woman driver, Janet Guthrie.
Guthrie broke the barrier.
Just the second woman to attempt to qualify for the world's biggest race. She not only succeeded, but excelled.
Lynn St. James carried the torch.
Danica Patrick is for real, and she leads.
And Danica Patrick took the baton to make history back in 2005, becoming the first woman to lead the Indianapolis 500. 3 female trailblazers who have made a historic mark at IMS. Well, only 9 women have ever raced in the Indianapolis 500. One of them is Catherine Legg. And she'll attempt to make history this year by doing the double. Race in both the Indy 500 and Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. Well, women are increasingly making their mark in professional motorsports, and not just behind the wheel, but also behind the scenes. Engineers, pit crew members, and team leaders like Andretti Global President Jill Gregory.
You just have to be persistent, and if you want to go after something, then you have to be persistent and really dedicate yourself to going after it.
You gotta have really tough skin.
Women pursuing careers in motorsports, it's not for the faint-hearted.
We have the talent, we've got the process.
Jill Gregory knows she spent 20 years in auto racing executive roles, now serving as Chief Operating Officer of TWG Motorsports and President of Andretti Global. The number of women on IndyCar race teams is growing. Case in point, took a trip through Gasoline Alley and Pit Lane at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It saw women working on cars, changing tires, working on engineering systems, and everything in between.
Big stop for Ferrari.
But IndyCar's numbers don't come close to F1, where more than 30% of F1's motorsports workforce is made up of women. Gregory says IndyCar does have a strategy to get more females in the fold.
I don't know if there's one silver bullet. There has been a concerted effort by a few of the racing series to not just focus on a female driver. Obviously, that's the most visible piece, and we want a successful female driver because that's the what you notice or what fans would notice. But it's really about women in engineering, women on the pit crew, the team that you see here at Andretti, a lot of strong females within our commercial team. Creating opportunities across the ecosystem is just as important as finding a female driver.
Bree Watson took an unconventional career path into motorsports, where she builds gearboxes for the Arrow McLaren team. Bree had no background in engineering and learned on the job.
I don't know how to use a drill, but I've just learned everything on the job. This is my 4th year in IndyCar, so I've kind of just worked my way up.
Bree also says earning respect as a female in a male-dominated sport has been a big challenge.
I've been at 3 teams, and every team I've been treated differently solely because I'm a woman, not because I'm incapable or not strong enough, which that's what I thought, I'm going to struggle because I'm not strong enough or I don't know these things. It's solely because I'm treated differently because I'm a woman, and that's what I want people to know coming in, don't be surprised. Yeah, you got to have tough skin to do this.
Jill Gregory's take on the male-female motorsports workforce dynamic: there is hope.
After being in the game for this long, that still is a question means that there's still not as many women in the room that you would want. But as I've gone through my career, I have noticed a lot of gain.
Clark backing up and dropping a 3.
From directing plays on the court to directing drivers to their cars, Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark is this year's Indy 500 Grand Marshal. She'll give the traditional command for drivers to report to their cars shortly before the start of the 110th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. Well, coming up next, a Hoosier racing legend and former Indy 500 champ connecting heart health with racing.
Movie star, handsome. And heart surgery.
Why Get Your Valves Checked hits home with Indy's David Letterman and his Rahal Letterman Lanigan race team. Kylie Valletta with that story in the business of health.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high.
Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
Listings grew by 5% year over year, continuing to outpace sales. Pendings jumped by 30% from February to March and were up 1% year over year. Sales were similar, up 27% from February and 1% from last year. Inventory is tightening, but growing year over year. However, inventory growth has slowed. We've been at 13% year over year growth for the past 4 months, while growth ranged from 15 to 30% in the 2 years before that. Prices are up 4% year over year, $10,000 higher than last March. Days on market fell significantly, and immediate sales are more common. Price drops are falling, but higher than last year.
Challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising faster among
need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions. They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard.
Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
We Build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Most importantly, only she wanted to make sure I could get my out of that car real fast because she's the official pace car driver when the race starts.
Kurt Signetti, the coach of the national champion Indiana Hoosiers football team and the honorary Indy 500 pace car driver, talking about what he has to do to make room for IndyCar racing veteran Sarah Fisher to take the wheel officially to lead the field of 33 to the green flag.
D-Day is in 61 hours from now. This is the largest seaborne invasion in history.
And waving that green flag, Academy Award-winning actor and Indianapolis native, Brendan Fraser. His new movie, Pressure, about World War II, coming out Memorial Day week, which fits right into the Indy 500's tradition of celebrating the military.
Thanks, Gary. There's some irony in NTT IndyCar Series chief starter Aaron Likens' story. He has autism and Asperger's, so he spent his childhood just trying to blend in. Today, he stands above the most famous straightaway in motorsports, the most visible job at the greatest spectacle in racing. And now a documentary is being made that will showcase his journey from an autism diagnosis to the Indy 500 flag stand. Likens released a book 2 years ago detailing his story, but he hopes a documentary reaches an even bigger audience.
I hope it reaches people that just need to know, hey, where I was 20 years ago, my message to my parents were, why should I try? There's no hope, no hope, no hope. I have come from that to now being the chief starter of the largest race in the world, and I have probably one of the coolest offices in the entire world.
Likens didn't get a diagnosis until he was 20 years old. The film crew has followed him at other races and will also be shooting footage of him on the biggest stage of all, the Indy 500.
We never thought we were going to be here.
Another story of triumph has a new chapter this season. Former IndyCar driver Sam Schmidt released his autobiographical book earlier this week. A racing accident in 2000 left him a quadriplegic, but Schmidt has steadily reimagined his racing career, including team ownership. 100% of the author proceeds will benefit his foundation, which has raised millions of dollars for brain and spinal cord injury treatment. His foundation also opened 2 driven neuro recovery centers, including one in Indy for people with spinal cord injuries who can now read the full story of what inspired the centers.
The ability for those people to kind of, see where this journey started and why it's here and why we thought it was important, I think is, kind of hearing it firsthand.
Raising even more funds for the centers, the Corvette modified so Schmidt could drive it even as a quadriplegic was auctioned off here in Indy just days ago, raising $50,000.
In racing, literally,
Seconds, hundredths of a second, thousandths of a second make a difference between winning and losing.
The Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing team says seconds also matter in preventing heart valve failure and is encouraging race fans to get your valves checked. All three team co-owners, Bobby Rahal, David Letterman, and Mike Lanigan, have faced heart challenges. Race fans 65 and older can get a heart valve screening at the campaign's RV, which will be at IMS on race day. California-based Edwards Life Sciences tapped the racing team to spotlight heart valve failure and star in a short film that tells the co-owners' heart stories.
Well, one thing we have in common is we all have
good looks.
We have good looks.
Exactly. I'm glad. I was too embarrassed to mention it, but handsome.
And modesty.
Extra handsome.
Modesty.
Movie star handsome.
And heart surgery.
And if you still need to be inspired to take control of your heart health, even after race day, you can watch the film at getyourvalveschecked.com. Gary, back to you.
This week's headlines represent significant news for the state's evolving new economy. The state's $125 billion biosciences sector now has a new brand identity to compete with Silicon Valley and other high-tech hotbeds. Bio Heartland will now be the brand people see when it comes to promoting Indiana's bioscience ecosystem across human and animal health and plant science. Meantime, work has begun on the $25 million Heartland BioWorks headquarters at the 16 Tech Innovation District in Indianapolis. It will serve as a biomanufacturing workforce training and innovation center. And in Northwest Indiana, Microsoft now has city council approval to build a second data center in LaPorte. Construction already underway on Microsoft's first LaPorte data center, part of an earlier announced $1 billion investment. Well, coming up next, we break down what to expect for this year's running of the greatest spectacle in racing with two familiar guys who know a thing or two about it. The voices at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Dave Calabro and Mark Jaynes, after the break.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin. Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar. Because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising faster among adults. Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard.
Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
Listings grew by 5% year over year, continuing to outpace sales. Pendings jumped by 30% from February to March and were up 1% year over year. Sales were similar, up 27% from February and 1% from last year. Inventory is tightening, but growing year over year. However, inventory growth has slowed. We've been at 13% year over year growth for the past 4 months, while growth ranged from 15 to 30% in the 2 years before that. Prices are up 4% year over year, $10,000 higher than last March. Days on market fell significantly, and immediate sales are more common. Price drops are falling, but higher than last year.
Jim Cornelison singing Back Home Again in Indiana, one of the most time-honored traditions on race day. I spoke with him earlier this year for the Business and Beyond podcast about what goes through his head during that moment.
I was holding that last note, and the audience reacted so strongly. I really just felt it was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. It's like, job well done. This is what I was trying to do. This is wonderful.
Since 1936, the Borg-Warner Trophy has been honoring winners of the Indy 500 by adding the driver's face to the base of the trophy.
Well, as we wrap up week 4 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and our business at the Brickyard coverage, it's a good time to check out what to expect now that the field is set for the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. And to do that, here's IBJ Media podcaster Dave Calabro.
Hi, everybody. Race day is finally here. It's going to be a great show. The 110th running of the Indianapolis 500, and the voice right here is Mark Jaynes. I'll be doing the public address system in the track. This guy is going to be bouncing around the world on the radio.
If you're curious as to what drivers talk about during the Indy 500...
Are you fired up, my man?
Always am, Dave. I mean, it's number 31 for me. It's my 11th as the anchor, and I just never get tired of coming here and doing this.
Who do you like? Who stands out for you?
Connor Daly has, since going back to the test in April. It's just been a very efficient month for him. I know he was disappointed in his qualifying effort, still starting in the best position he's ever started. And I think if there's ever going to be a shot that the kid from Noblesville gets it, it'll be this year. And I can't imagine what would happen at this place if that happened.
It's just exciting to be a part of this event.
Yeah, it is for sure. I've been asked recently, 30 some odd years, how do you still get geared up for it? And I said, when I pull through the tunnel the first time in May, there's a feeling that I just cannot describe. And if that feeling ever goes away, then it'd probably be time to do something else. It's a thrill to have a small thread in that amazing tapestry for sure.
Mark Jaynes, my guest on Playmakers. Hope you check it out wherever you pick up your podcast.
And joining me now, trackside, is the voice of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Dave Calabro. Dave, great to see you.
Hi, Gary.
It's been an eventful month. The big takeaways for the month.
Well, it's been a fantastic month. It's been very fast. It's been clean leading up through qualifications, and I'm so fired up for the race. We have a very veteran field, the most experienced field we've had since the 90s. I think it's going to be a fantastic race.
Yeah, going to be a great race on the track, off the track. Everyone always excited about their traditions pre-race. I know America's 250th birthday is going to be part of it.
You've seen a lot of red, white, and blue if you've been to the track. 250th anniversary of the birth of our nation. And so the Speedway, of course, it's Memorial Day weekend. We're going to have all the traditional things that you're used to, but there's some amazing surprises that you're going to see in person here at the track and also on television. Again, all the traditional things will happen, but there's some new, added, very cool elements, I think, that'll make your hair stand up on end, I promise.
Looking forward to that. Got to ask you, who's your pick?
Well, Pato Award continues to pop into my mind. I think he's a fan favorite here, along with Connor Daly. Pato's finished second twice now. He knows how to get it done, so we'll see if he can compete. So he's probably my favorite right now to think about a guy who can win this thing.
All right, I'll write that down. Dave, always great to see you. Good luck with the race, as always.
It's been fun working with you.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Right.
You guys are missing out on the biggest party. There's a lot of smoke here, and I'm not even talking about Tony Stewart.
YMS President Doug Boles talked about it earlier in the broadcast, getting more young demographics at the Speedway. And this weekend, football legend Rob Gronkowski returns to IMS to serve as Grand Marshal of the Snake Pit Party race morning.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. We hope you have enjoyed our month-long Business at the Brickyard series and a look at the economic impact of motorsports on the Indiana economy. I'm Gerry Dick. Go out and make it a successful and safe Memorial Day weekend.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LiUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LiUNA.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh,
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit. They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
The internet changed how we work. AI is changing what work gets done. A bank cut loan processing from days to hours. A student built an AI scheduler, improving on-time delivery from under 70% to over 90%. Most teams know AI matters, but aren't sure where to start. InAI is Indiana's statewide AI adoption effort, built with industry, academia, and community partners, helping you move from understanding to action. Visit inaiready.com.